Welcome to everybody who's in the chat. We are at episode 14 of Temple of Elemental Evil. So last time was pretty crazy, pretty action-packed, very deadly, well, almost very deadly. You went through the dungeon after staying in the ruins all night with a bunch of prisoners that thankfully wasn't too dangerous. You saw some little red eyes looking at you here and there. You saw a group of dwarves with a human woman go down into the temple, but you then decided to not follow them further, so they went down and you haven't seen them since. You also went deeper into the temple and met horrible tall creatures, murdered a bunch of ghouls. You found a spell book, which I forgot to get to with you, but that's fine. We'll get to that later. What else was there? Oh, there's also a snake that, if you had not passed your save, would have instantly killed you, or at least put you into such a horrid state that you might have needed immediate medical attention as soon as possible. And then you also met a pretty brutal executioner who really started cleaving into you guys. However, you were able to finally kill him and deal with that horrid guy. What else was there? That's a lot of it. Was this the same session with the clown car of Knowles, or was that the session before? Was that last session, or was that the session before that? I think that might have been before that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the session before that. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, things. It's been quite the SWAT clearing from room to room. So it's been pretty crazy. But yeah, you also in that room with the torturer were able to rescue 2 women and two orcs. And you guys are going back to Hamlet now. Now those 4 people are gonna want to talk to you pretty soon once you start here.
Cool.
And then we can basically get into this now, because that's pretty much the general idea. So you guys make your way back to Hamlet. And obviously, Martin, feel free to stop me at any point if you feel like your character would want to say something here or there. But you guys go into town. Alan says he wants to go run off and check on Naomi and see how she's doing with her studies and all that sort of thing. So he runs off. You sort of notice Elmo giving a bit of a smirk towards you as he says that, and Alan kind of goes off. Amelia and Gwen, who are the 2 women who introduced themselves from Nulb, decide to get themselves healed up. And they basically let you know, like, Hamlet isn't a huge fan of Nulbians, so they got their healing. But they're looking just to head back to Nulb pretty soon. They're not saying they need any escort or anything like that. They can go by themselves.
Yeah.
But Amelia does mention that if you guys need to stay in Nulb, she does have her home's not very nice, but she can fit at least 3 people in her home through the night. If you guys ever want to stop by as thanks for you guys saving her.
Sounds good.
Gwen seems to not be somebody with much herself, so she just gives you thanks and says she'll try and repay you back in some way if she can. But she doesn't. She unfortunately does not have much in the way of gold or anything like that. And so unless you have anything you want to say or ask them, they're going to be heading off pretty soon just to get out of Hamlet, because they're getting lots of side eye from the locals.
I think Griff is sort of interested in Nulb a little bit. He's kind of curious as to what makes the place tick, so he's going to ask Amelia and Gwen, who kind of runs the town. So I think, well, look, just one quick thing. I have to be honest. When we went to the tavern there, we got a bit of a rough reception. Drinks cost about 20 times what they should have done, and I know it's just like eyes for daggers as we went out. It looks like everyone wanted to kill us. Who runs that place? Who have we got to kind of get on the good side of there to get a warmer welcome?
Yeah. So, let's see here. She says that Nulb is kind of interesting in the sense that unlike so Hamlet has like an elder and has like this council that with like Jeru and like the Burn and a few other people. Elmo's dad's also one of the people who's on the council that you've learned. Nulb doesn't really operate that way. Nulb is much more I guess weirdly autonomous. There's a few different, what you'd say, factions in the town more than anything else. I believe there was one gang, I can't remember I don't want to sit here looking for his name forever, but there was one guy I believe I mentioned back when you were in Nulb that the bartender said to you.
Fence.
Yeah. Do you remember what his name was?
I can definitely tell you if you give me a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where his name was, 'cause it was definitely somewhere here in the book, but I can't remember where it was. Um, Also, there's a fucking. This is where this was made by fucking all men in the fucking 80s. There's a guy in Nulb whose name is Dick Wrench. And it's just like, God damn it.
Go away.
um,
No.
um, but yeah, I'm trying to see what that guy's name was. We can always come back to this afterwards.
Yeah.
If I forget. But he says there's that guy who has like a bunch of people under his control. And he kind of, he's the kind of like bully that's like, oh, there's a toll in the road now kind of stuff, where he sort of pulls griffs on people and that sort of thing. There's also every once in a while different river pirates who come through, and barge members. So she says that guy, that again I can't remember what his name is now.
Toleb.
What was his name?
Toleb.
Toleb, yeah.
T-O-L-E-B.
She says Toleb's a good guy to get to know. I mean, she also mentions that, it's pretty dangerous, short-tempered, somebody that, like, in terms of getting to know, you, Griff, have probably done enough at this point that you've gotten a bit of a name for yourself, clearing out that moat house. I mean, there's enough people, you're well known enough that assassins have come after you, and you've seen weird visions of people watching you and stuff, so obviously people know of your deeds. People around Homeland have started treating you better. They still treat you like an outsider. It's still not like the warmest welcome with everybody, but overall, you're at least more accepted. So you might have a bit more of a reputation preceding you if you want to talk to people, which in Nulb, as you know, being a little bit of, I believe you've learned that Nulb is a bit of a hiring ground for people at the temple, for other gangs and that sort of thing. That reputation might not be a good one to precede you, depending on, who you might have killed, who might belong to certain members or friends or family. But yeah, so he's one of the guys you might want to talk to. You've already met the bartender, who I believe was at the Waterside Hostel, or I think that's what it was called.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, and also the Boatman's Tavern. Yeah, so she says, like, basically the people who run the Waterside Hostel are good to know. And that's the basic gist she seems to give you. I might give you a bit more of a substantial answer later. I just want to make sure I don't confuse you too much. But we'll say, in terms of a placeholder at least, that she gives you a few names of people that would be like the, for lack of a better term, bigwigs, which I don't think is the best term for people who are in this shitty, half-sunken town. But yeah, so that's what you sort of gather from them. And Amelia says that, like, as much as it's not very safe, Amelia knows enough people that if you and like two others need to stay in her place, you're relatively safe. Not to say that if you piss anybody off, they're not going to try and kill you or break in or steal from you, but overall, there's a chance that with Amelia there, they're not gonna do anything just out of respect or out of whatever weird honor among thieves they have over going on in Nulb.
Griff's kind of concerned because he's thinking, well, if there's a situation where only 3 people need a space, it means something's gone badly wrong.
Yeah, I mean, the way Amelia's kind of phrasing it, it feels like that's the kind of thing she's offering in terms of like a safe house of like, you gotta get somewhere fast and you don't really want to be, in the middle of nowhere or in the forest or whatever. You can come crash on my pad. But it's not really like, oh, here's a hotel for you to stay at that you're gonna want to be here very often. That's probably not gonna attract the right kind of attention.
Cool. Well, it's good to know we got somewhere to stay. So, thank you for that.
Yeah, and Gwen basically also mentions that she once she gets herself healed up and just rested back in Nulb, she'd be down to be a hireling. If you guys end up needing more people to go down into the temple.
Cool.
Though she says she's gonna need a little bit before she's willing to going back in there.
Of course. Yeah. And what about the 2 orcs? Have they just sort of disappeared, or?
No, the 2 orcs are still there.
Cool.
This is all sort of happening around the same amount of time. The orcs who are named Devik and Gran.
Yep.
And these are full orcs. They're not like half orcs. They're full. they also, similarly to Amelia and Gwen, are outsiders here and know they're not going to be very well liked. So they decided to just grab supplies. And they've let you know that they're just leaving pretty soon to go join their tribe in the northwest. Just over, basically, actually, pretty much straight north from Hamlet, but sort of northwest on this map. I just pinged at the top there, in the
Yeah.
mountains, pretty
Cool.
much like parallel to where the temple is. Um, and they just sort of mention like that's decently far. It's probably closer than Hamlet is to the temple. Probably about maybe instead of like the half a day of like I believe what is it like
Yep.
five, we'll say 5 hours from Hamlet. This is probably more like 3 hours from the temple. So
Okay.
it's a little bit closer. They're much more welcoming. They're very thankful for you guys actually, releasing them and laying them free. And they mentioned that you're welcome to stay at the tribe whenever you want. They're going to let the the elders there know and all that sort
Yeah.
of thing. And they mentioned that several orcs would be happy to work as man at arms for you guys, for obviously gold compensation. The
Indeed.
prices they mentioned seem like they might be a little bit more expensive than the usual counterparts you'll find here in Hamlet. But judging by the fact that they're probably pretty big orcs with a little bit more, a little bit more meat on their bones, they might be a worthy
Yeah.
investment. And you just sort of get the idea that like, yeah, there's almost a bit of a repayment here for saving their lives, and they seem very, very
Yeah.
thankful.
Well, anytime, and I might call on you at some point in the future.
Yep, and they give you sort of what looks like some sort of, I guess, not so much a handshake, but probably something akin to a handshake, but more in their sort of style. Maybe a little
Yeah.
bit something a little bit more gruffer and rougher, but yeah, and they depart. They grab the supplies, and they also go off. It
Cool.
seems it seems like as much as Hamlet's been nice to you, a lot of people elsewhere don't really want to stay here too much with how the locals are. But
Yeah.
that pretty much covers those guys.
Cool.
So you are back in Hamlet. I can't remember now, but I believe getting back here, it's probably, is it nighttime at this point? I can't remember what was happening last time. I'm so bad with keeping track of time with this stuff.
Yeah. So, what did I write down last time? So, Griff. Yeah. So we would have come back after beating the torturer. So, yeah, I'm.
So it's probably
mm,
like in the middle of the night. So I would say they probably left in
yeah.
the morning. They probably stayed here for the night, at the tavern, and were just chatting with you probably in the morning.
Yeah.
Um, and then they went off. So we'll just say it's the next morning now. That you've rested up and everybody else has too. Um, what would you like to do, Martin?
Sounds good. So, if we've got time to do it, I'm going to go and see Byrne and find out about this spell book.
Yes, absolutely. Um, so we'll go do that. You head off to the tower, and you sort of go through the usual rigmarole, and then you go up and see Burn. He opens up the door and he gives you the usual, it's you again. What can I do for you today, Griff?
Well, more trinkets. Look, I've got this spell book. I thought you might be able to help me. I don't know, work out what's inside. There might
Hmm.
even be something you haven't seen before.
Yeah, and he grabs it, and he goes through it quite a bit. And he just tells you to sort of sit down in one of like the nice comfy chairs nearby because he seems to go through this one longer than a lot of the other stuff you've gone through. He seems more interested. You do hear him sort of muttering and slightly insultingly kind of going about how it's so dirty and covered in mud. It's obviously been crushed by something big, and everything else he's going through is just talk about how he can never get anything in good quality. And he says, this spellbook actually is, quite interesting. Would you have any interest in selling it? He sort of
Well,
points out he doesn't hold back on any information on you, but he sort of points through. He
yeah.
says it looks like there's lots of elemental magic in here. Stuff both looks like healing magic as well as stuff to do with earth and rock, and that sort of thing. It seems to
Mm.
be some of it's on the higher end as he points through like the back of the book. A lot of it is destroyed. It seems like a lot of the information sort of like in the middle is covered in blood and the ink's been messed up and parts of pages have been missing, probably fell out of your bag like or something like that as he goes through it. But overall he says he can still sort of salvage some stuff out of it. Um and he said he'd be willing to give like 600 silver pieces for it.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, 600 silver pieces. I mean, there's some. I'm sure there's some special stuff in there. We fought really hard to get that one. I'll tell you. We almost got crushed by an earth something or other. It was some sort of golem or elemental. I'm not quite sure what it was, but um, and money. I got quite a bit of that now, which is always a good thing. So I was wondering if maybe we could trade. If maybe you could copy some of those out to a scroll or two or three or four or I don't know, maybe even five, and we could sort of do a deal there. You haven't even got to part with any money that way.
Yeah, he goes through it and he says, "Yes, I could do that. It might take me a little while. Some of this is he points to a lot of different things. Some of this language here is quite archaic, but I think I can do that for you, and I think that's a worthy trade, knowledge for knowledge, and I'll make sure to get you some good resources out of this. Um,
Absolutely.
it might take me about a day or two."
Oh yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. Well, we have a deal then.
And he flips through it, and when you mention like the rock creature, he points to like a picture of what looks like a big sort of hulking mass. You do see the same sort of familiar runes on it. He says, "Is this what you encountered?"
Yeah, evil beast that thing was. I mean, if I'm being honest, we ran away from it. Didn't want to face that. It went mental. We killed the thing that cast it, and it was running all over the place. It was.
Yeah, he says, yes, this is interesting. This elemental, from what I can tell, he's sort of like he's saying off a bunch of stuff to you that you don't understand because he's basically breaking between a few different languages.
Yeah.
But he says usually most elementals come from the plane of Earth, but this spell brings them from somewhere else completely. I'm not quite sure where, but
Ooh,
it seems to be a bit of a different kind of elemental.
right. That sounds dangerous.
Hmm. And yeah, he sort of saying it's very powerful. Very. This one might take a little while to actually copy down. I don't know if I'll even be able to get it onto a scroll, but I might be able to.
Ooh, bit of a challenge, is it? Even for you?
Yeah, he seems excited and a little bit less ornery than normal as he's talking to you about this. This seems to be almost a different side of a
Hmm.
Burn that you've seen. He seems a little bit less, I guess, stuck on insulting you for once, and more
Yeah.
stuck on what he's reading out to you. And your actual genuine interest seems to, at least, I guess, placate him a little bit in in his
Yes.
treatment of you.
Good. Finally, Griff has achieved something from his bucket list with
Yeah.
a modicum of respect from
Finally,
Burn.
something that he feels is worthy of his time.
Yeah.
after like weeks of defeating creatures and finding stuff, it's like okay,
Oh, it's you again.
yeah, exactly.
But, excellent. Cool. Well, with a spring in his step, Griff will very much thank Burn and be on his way.
Okay, sounds good. What do you want to do next, Martin?
I guess we'll pick up the gang.
Okay.
We should probably talk to those prisoners we rescued, not the
Yeah,
not
you mean the
when we
ones
were
over in
in
the
Glen.
church?
Yeah, the ones that almost got killed by the elemental.
Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, so you go to the church, and it looks like most of them are back in decent health. They obviously still need some more time to, rest in bed. But one of the younger men seems to be pretty much back to full. Outside of like some bandages on his head and a few scrapes. He seems to be in working order, and he when I'd say probably one of the like minor priests sort of tells him that you're here to chat with him about some questions. He sort of just springs up. He's like, so you're the one who saved us. Thank you so much, Mr. Griff.
Oh,
I
no
really
problem.
appreciate it.
But just Griff. No one calls me Mister Griff.
Okay, yeah, absolutely, Griff.
Thanks.
What would you like to know?
Well, I mean, anything and everything, really. I mean, how did you get down there? What can you tell us about the temple? Any news on this Romag guy? Anything really.
Hmm.
Griff's just really, really keen to find out anything at all.
Yeah. So he says, excuse me. He points to the two older men that are in the beds who are still kind of like one of them looks to be sort of moaning and kind of saying just random words. The other one looks totally comatose. He says, "Well, those two merchants there, they're brothers. They were coming down with, I believe, some silver and some iron ore or something like that down to Hamlet. And we were just me and my buddy over there were hired as guards for them. We were attacked on the road, and I gotta be honest, I don't remember much except the fight. They cut down a bunch of other men that are there with us. I'm not sure where. I believe there's one woman left. He said, I'm not really sure where she came from.
Right.
But we woke up in a cell with a bunch of different people after being dragged through the woods. They seem to come out of nowhere. We first saw a bunch of people in the front and back, and then a bunch of arrows came from the woods, and just took out a
Hmm.
bunch of us. And then, well, then they started interrogating us about different things, asking us questions. Um, and from what we could gather, I think they were taking us to sacrifices or something. There were every once in a while some people would come down in robes and they would grab a few of us in chains, and then we wouldn't hear from anything. And then a few days later, more would come, take out more prisoners. More prisoners would get put in. Um, eh, well, every
Oh,
once in a while they would take some out and feed them to some creatures nearby. And
right, right.
they use those creatures as a way to keep us from, if we talk too much, or
Yeah.
if we ask for anything, they would threaten us, they would beat us and tell us that they would feed us to them. But I think from what I could gather, I think they were taking us to be sacrificed or something. Um,
Okay.
but they
Sounds
seemed
pretty
really well
grim.
organized in grabbing people, and they just kept churning us through.
Right. Okay. And some of these creatures, were they like 7 foot tall and a bit blue?
Uh, I mean, we never really got to see the creatures too much. We just heard there was just many footsteps, and sometimes they would talk. They
Right.
spoke common, but it was like broken and disgusting, and it's just I'm not sure who they were exactly, but all
No,
we would
no,
hear is
okay.
screams and bones being snapped.
Yep. And did you pick up any names when you were in there? As these people were talking to each other, did any of them say, here, Bill, how's it going? Or, Johnny wanted 4 new prisoners. Anything like that?
He says, let's see here, where is it? One second, because he says yes, there was one guy in charge. I heard about. Um, you mentioned Romag. I definitely heard his name, but there was also somebody else that I heard being talked about. His name was Harch.
Arch. Okay.
Yeah, that's Hartsch.
Arch. Okay.
I think I'm not really sure. But that was the main name I heard where people come down and bring prisoners to that
Right.
guy. Um,
And you're not sure whether it's, which one's more senior, whether that will be Romag or Harch. I guess you probably couldn't tell, but.
um, hmm. He sort of thinks for a little bit. I'm fairly sure Romag was in charge. From what I
Right.
could tell.
Right. Okay.
But I think if Harch is below him, it might be more of a partner situation more than anything
Oh,
else.
okay. Okay.
They were both spoken about a decent amount, but obviously I could only hear what came through the walls or what small things were being said. A lot of times
Yeah.
I was mostly trying to not be seen in the hopes they wouldn't grab me next.
Oh, understandable. And did you hear of somebody called Drun at all?
Hmm. Drun. I think
Drun.
I think that sounds familiar. He might have been one of the men that came to get us normally.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you won't be hearing from him again,
Oh,
if you
really?
know what I mean. Yep,
Oh, perfect.
he's gone.
And he seems well, that's great to hear. Hopefully, maybe with more of them killed, that'll mean you can start breaking down their operations. Um, you failed to mention that what happened when you took out Drun.
Yeah.
But yeah, he seems outside of that. If do you have any more questions? Because he seems to be pretty much out of information in terms of anything I can think of
Yeah, no, that's
that would be relevant. But if you have any questions, it might juggle
yeah.
his brain.
No, Griff can't think of anything. He was just after some names, really.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
sounds
Well,
good.
you make sure you heal up good, and I hope your other guys there turn out all right.
Perfect. Um, he says, yes, thank you so much. I'll be sure to ask them the same questions you asked me if I can find out anything more
Yeah,
for you. We were all pretty malnourished and dehydrated there. It was I won't lie to you. I at some points I couldn't really tell what was real and what was my imagination.
yeah, I know it could get a bit like that, can't it? Stuck down underground and not really sure if you're awake or asleep. But yeah. Anyway, you take it easy, and I'll hopefully be back in a day or two.
Thanks a lot, sir.
No
And
problem.
he goes back to checking on his buddy.
Cool. So I think that's everything. We will collect Elmo and Alan and Barry.
Okay, sounds good. Um, yeah, you go to the tavern and you find Elmo and Bari, but you can't seem to find where Alan was. You thought he'd be here
Ah,
nearby. Bari just mentions as he's like eating through like through different mouthfuls of soup. He says, I think he's still checking on Naomi down at the Grove."
all right. Okay. I'll go and pay him a visit then.
And Elmo says, "I'll get the horses together and everything, boss, and I'll meet you out front here again."
Great. Yeah. Well, hopefully they won't be long. So.
Yeah. So you head down to the Druid Grove, and you see what looks like a bunch of acolytes doing some studies here and there. Some of them are off gardening. Some of them are. It looks like they're trying to cast some spells. You see what looks like Jeru instructing a few younger ones on stuff, and then you see Alan and Naomi over like in the corner by the garden, just chatting.
Uh-oh. So Griff will wander over. Morning.
Yeah. Oh, and I was like, "Oh, hey, sir." And Naomi was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm getting better with my studies."
Ah, good, good. You still going, Adam?
Absolutely. And
Perfect.
she has her palms spread open and she does like this little what you see almost looks like a little blue arcing light, and it doesn't really do much. It kind of just fizzles out pretty quickly. But she says, I'm getting better at casting without scrolls now." But
Perfect.
it was a good little trick, but not quite anything of, I guess, substantial
Yeah.
power just yet. And you see Alan's kind of blushing, and he says, are we heading off, sir?"
Yep, yep. I think we should.
Okay. Well, see you, Naomi. I'll go get my horse, sir.
Yeah. Well, I think Elmo will do that, but yeah, we'll head back to the inn, and yeah, if you need to go and get a horse, you can get a horse.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, he's Alan's happy to just escort you back to the tavern. You see Naomi goes back with the other acolytes who were actually doing their studies.
Yeah.
And she goes back to doing whatever she was doing with them.
Right, Alan. You remember that shield that we found? The one with the scorpion on it?
Yeah, yeah. What about it?
Yeah. You want that one?
Yeah, that one's really cool. I
Yeah.
love
I reckon there
scorpions.
could be something about it. It's don't have any crap on it. You give it a ding, it doesn't seem to affect it. So
Oh,
probably like
perfect.
your sword
It's
there.
like your shield, the other one you found in
Yeah,
was that one in the lizard? I can't remember.
that's the one.
We've
Yeah.
gone through so much now.
Yeah.
It's can't remember where we've gotten all of our stuff.
The lizard shield, we'll call it. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and he looks excited to get that scorpion shield. For everybody in the audience, that scorpion shield. We did some bookkeeping, off screen, and that scorpion shield is a +1 shield. So Alan's AC now is a 19. As he grabs that, I'm actually forgot to change his character.
Ooh.
So I just gotta bring that up. There you go, shield. But yeah, so there we go, perfect. Yeah, so you and Alan go back. Bari and Elmo are already there, all geared up and on their horses. You guys grab the reins and you head off. Is there anything else you want to do in town first, or are you guys just ready to go back to the temple?
No, I think we're all good. We've ticked all the boxes there. We know what's going on, so we're all good.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, so you guys head back. Let me just do... Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's nothing. Let's see here.
We'll be back to the village for healing before we even got to the
Yeah. um. Oh my god, there's so many different tables. All right. All right. 1 second. Boop, doo, doo. Okay. So, you guys are heading up north through the main road you guys have been taking. You guys are riding at full gallop, trying to get to the temple. And then, Jesus Christ, okay. Oh my God. Okay. So, you see on both sides of you, 4 men. It looks like one is in heavier armor, and he has a big sword in his hand. And he says, "Fire!" And the other 7 guys fire off like crossbows towards you
7.
guys. Yeah, and they're just like on both sides of the road. And I'm gonna do. There's 4 of you, 7 shots. I'm gonna say 2 are gonna be on you. I think both of those are gonna miss. And then 2 on Alan. Okay, one's gonna hit. Oh my God.
Brutal.
Jesus. So Alan's down at 2 hit points as a crossbow bolt goes straight into his chest. And he's like, I didn't get the shield up in time, boss. And then one's gonna go for Alan, or one's gonna go for Elmo and Bari. That one was for Elmo, and those ones missed. So the rest just sort of hit the ground or hit your armor and bounce off. But one meets flesh with Alan, and then we'll go into initiative here. Martin.
So just before that, Griff's gonna say, "Do you know who I am? I'm Griff Sharpeye."
Oh yeah, you do have your diplomatic thing. Let's see here. So they're already hostile.
Yeah.
I think
More of a
you
trying
know
to
what?
get the shit out of them.
Yeah, you know what he was gonna say? He's gonna say, "I do know who you are, and that's why I'm attacking. I can hear all that gold clinking on that sack of yours."
Right. Well, if you think you can manage it.
But when you do mention that, you do notice that some of the other guys look a little bit more nervous. He seems confident in himself, but you do know some of the bands as your mention of who you are. And seeing seeing more clearly now that you guys aren't going at full gallop, that you guys are, in pretty good shining attire. Especially you and Alan with your more magical weapons at this point. And Elmo's being huge. They're starting to already see, like, perhaps this was a mistake, but their leader seems to be pretty confident in himself. So we'll just do initiative here. And one thing I'll mention, just as a thing that I feel like you would notice, they're not on horses. All 4 of you are.
Yeah.
You can easily outrun these guys if you need to. One thing, too, I forgot to mention, between the last session and this session, Martin did level up to level 5. And now he spent all his points going into attributes, so he now has a +2 to his dex. So his his initiative is +2. You guys are gonna go first.
So I think what's going to happen is, if he can do it without spending an action, Griff will toss Alan a healing potion.
Yep.
Here, Alan.
I would say I think between all that, I think that would probably be the action. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say you probably could do that and then pull out a weapon as all part of your turn if you want to.
Sounds good. So if that's an action, what he'll do is actually give Alan the potion of extra healing because,
okay,
kind of sure it works.
Yeah, I can't remember how much healing that actually does. 1 second here. I will check this book.
Gonna say I think that's probably an AD&D one. That one.
Yeah, it probably is. I don't know if it'll be. Maybe I might just triple it and do like 3d4 instead of the 1d4 we've been doing. But we'll see here. I do think there is greater healing at least in OSC, so that we'll just switch it out for that.
Cool.
Potion of healing, and so potion of healing does. Sorry, does potion of healing do a D6 +1?
D4 +1. I think so.
Okay,
yeah. Different in every edition of D&D and every different clone.
Yeah. Since this will basically probably pull them back to full anyway, I'm just going to say for now, because it's used up anyway, we'll just say 3d4 +3 just for greater healing, because I feel like that's fair.
Cool.
And I'm fairly sure he can't not get all his
Yeah.
So he just chugs that back, then pulls out the arrow out of himself, or pulls out the bolt, and he gets his weapons ready as well for the fight. And Bari and Elmo will fire off their shots. And yeah, Ori, he is level 5 already, because even with me cutting down the amount of gold numbers, it is still an insane amount that he's been gathering. Let's see here. So Elmo's gonna fire off his bow, and Bari's also gonna fire off his crossbow.
Griff's gonna say, "On the leader, we'll teach him a lesson."
And I believe both of them. Yeah. So each of them immediately kill 2 of the bandits. So they both go down, 1 on each side. And I'm gonna do a morale check for some of those guys. No, they're good. They hold up. You see some of them are about to be like, oh shit, let's get out. And then the leader's like, no, stand your ground. We're gonna get that money. Listen, boys, it's gonna be a good payday when we kill these fuckers. And it's gonna be their turn. They drop their crossbows, and they run into the fray. The one guy with the long sword, and the rest with, I believe, we'll say little hand axes. So we'll do, say you're in the front. I'm gonna say the big guy. The big guy's gonna go for you.
Sounds good.
He's got his long sword. I don't think it's gonna hit. 14's not gonna hit. How many left? There's 5 of those guys left, right? Yeah, because there's 8, and then and then 2 of them with hand axes are gonna go for Alan. Ooh. I believe that's gonna be 2 more misses. And then that's. Wait, how many left?
Is it 2?
And then, okay, so he went, and then there was 2 of them. So I think that means there's
3.
3 left, yeah.
3 left, yeah.
So then one's going to go for you, one's going to go for Bari, and one's going to go for Elmo. I think Bari's going to get hit there. So, let me see here. Bari, what's your AC at? Bari's AC is 15. Yeah, so Bari gets hit for 3 damage. He's down to 6 hit points. He's still doing okay, but the axe just goes right into his thighs. The guy jumps up onto the horse and just starts cleaving into him. And now it is your turn. Bari's going to drop his bow and just pull out his dagger and start trying to stab this guy.
Cool. Is Griff within reasonable arrow range of this guy, or is he a little bit too close?
No, you can easily just sort of move. You guys are basically mobile on your horses compared to these guys, so you're able to break away, I'm gonna say, from these pretty from your guess, or at least not from your guess, from what you can tell by these guys, they're not good fighters. You can break off pretty easily and fire off your bow. And this is the one who's on Bari.
So this is the leader guy I'm going for.
Oh, you're going for the leader guy. Yeah, you hit him. Good arrow shot straight into him. He's not quite dead, but he's looking pretty rough. And Elmo is going to drop his bow as well and grab out his axe and go for the guy who's on Bari.
Cool. Oh, okay.
And he's going. He's going to hit. He's not going to kill, but Alan's not too far as well, and Alan's going to grab out his longsword. Actually, no, Alan has a bunch of people on him. Alan's going to slash at one of the ones who's on him. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that guy's going to be pretty much dead. Yeah. So he cuts down one guy who's on him. So that leaves 5 guys left. One guy severely wounded who's on you, like the big guy. So the big guy's going to go for you.
Good.
He runs up. Just trying to catch you. Can't seem to hit. Nice. And then the other 4, the 2 are... So there's one on Bari. There's one who's going to try and catch up to Elmo.
That's a miss, I think.
Yeah. and there's one on you, and I think there's one left on Alan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. I think he hits Alan. Does he?
Yeah. Actually, no. Sorry, that's one on you, I believe.
Oh, cool. Okay, it's fine.
So you're gonna take 3 damage as the one who's on you attacks you. The rest of them all miss. And now it's back to you guys.
Excellent. So Griff is going to try and finish off the leader.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, not had enough yet. Have some more. Ooh.
Yeah, he's dead. Oh
Ooh.
yeah, he's real dead. He runs. You move forward again, and he tries to break the distance, and he does, but just in time for your arrow to just go right through his eye, and he goes down dead. Okay. We have we'll just do Alan first because he's just got one guy on him he's probably going. I think he's gonna basically. I think he insta kills them just because he doesn't care about their AC anyway. Yeah. So Alan immediately slices the head off of one and starts moving for the guy who's on Bari. And Elmo. Elmo is going to attack the one who's on him. And he's just going to kill that guy. And then Bari's going to just, I believe, stab. I think is the last dude. I've somehow confused myself with such a low number of people. And that guy's also going to be dead now that he's been hit several times. I think is that everybody? Or there might be, if there's one guy left, I think he's booking it because I actually can't remember now. I think there's one guy left who's on you, Martin, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not going to make him do a morale check. Everybody just got murdered. He's just going to start booking it for the forest as fast as possible. He's just dropped his weapon.
Griff's not gonna shoot him this time. He's gonna shout at the top of his voice. He's gonna say, "You tell anyone else who decides that it's a good idea to come after Griff Sharp Eye just exactly what happens."
Yeah, and he just keeps running, and he definitely hears you. And you see him as you're yelling behind him that his pace picks up, and he disappears into the trees.
Go on then, Alan. You go and search these guys, and I'm going to borrow. You get over here. I've got some more of Giroux's gunk. We'll have a go and see if that can sort out that wound you got there.
Yeah, and Bar comes alongside you. Alan gets off his horse and starts going through the different bodies.
Wow, that was a yes.
Yeah, holy shit, yeah.
12.
And yeah, give me your D6 plus 1.
Perfect.
Nice. That's exactly what you needed back. So Bari just gets you start slapping on the gunk all over him. And Bari's like, that's it's kind of cold. But I do feel better, boss.
Good.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Griff was just gonna. Oh well, I suppose we better make a move. It'll be night time before we get there.
Yeah, I agree. And also, you guys had a bit of a later start than normal too, so it's probably gonna be a little bit later when you guys get there. But yeah. So between all of them, Alan remarks. He throws you like a little sack of coin. He says, "I can see why they're trying to hit you. They only had 16 silver between them all."
Oh, what a waste of bloody time.
And you guys all get back on your horses, and you keep riding, and you do make it back to the temple.
Excellent.
Are you going back down to the first floor, or is there anything else you're doing once you get here?
Yeah, I think we'll probably just take it easy. I mean, this is not a place which stays still. So, yeah, last time we saw some random adventurers deciding to head off down a pit. So, I mean, we could get in there and anything could happen. So, we'll kind of carefully go to the main entrance and just, have a good listen before we go in. Just make sure there's nothing too weird going on.
Yep. So, it's pretty quiet. You walk through the same halls you've walked through a few times now, and it's all pretty good. You're about to take your left down to like the left side where it goes down. Yep. And you do notice a familiar sort of rope is tied to the pillar going down into the pit.
Well, those adventurers must be back again. Oh, we must say hello if we see them.
Sounds good. Did you catch any of their names or anything, boss? Elmo says.
No, I was just watching from a distance. It was just me. Maybe if they turn rotten, I didn't fancy my chances on my own. But now we got the team together. It'll be fine, I'm sure.
No, I think that was a smart move, boss. You never know what people coming into places like this are like. They're not all good people like us. And he sort of elbows
Absolutely.
Alan, and gives you a little wink. And you guys head down the stairs. Anything happen? Nope. So you make your way. Where's your little dude?
He's hiding in the torturer's chamber. There he is.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. So you are back down, all the way back down over here.
Cool.
Where do you want to go?
So I think we're gonna head up to. So Griff's thinking we've been around the bottom bit of this temple, this layer, and all we've seen is the sort of funky stairs with a weird waterfall, and a few random creatures, pile of trash, couple of rats, some rotten food. So he's kind of thinking this Romag guy must be somewhere kind of north because we've done all the southern bits. So we're gonna kind of head up to here if we can do that without.
Yeah, there's no walls here, so you feel free to move. Anywhere you've been already, feel free to just take a shortcut there. And also, that waterfall that was in front of 109 is gone now. It seems like it's disappeared, just as something that you've noticed. But yeah, what do you want to do now?
So, we will... Sorry, I was just making a note about the waterfall. Gone. There we go. Right. I suppose we better keep on seeing what's along here then. I reckon we might be meeting this Romag pretty soon.
Yep, so you have that secret door that you found earlier, and there's also that door at the end of the hallway as well.
Yeah. Griff always reckons if there's a choice between a secret door and a normal door, the secret door is probably the more interesting one, because at the end of the day, somebody didn't want him to find it.
I like that. I like that philosophy.
So he continues up the corridor until...
Okay. Yep, nothing happens.
That's good. We have a junction.
So you have a little junction there. You can easily see, though, as you just move down, I'll move down just a little bit, that ends.
Okay.
And I will say, though, you hear some laughter coming from that door right there. For everybody who's listening to this in the podcast version, basically what's happened is the first level here starts all the way down the south, as you guys probably already know from what we said before. Marn has just head up north pretty far up, and then there is a door on his right. And from this door, Marn, you don't need to give it a listen check or anything. You hear what sounds like raucous laughter, several footsteps. You hear glasses clinking onto a table, and you're hearing somebody tell like a pretty raunchy joke, and then a bunch of laughter from a bunch of different men. They sound human, at least human, dwarf, half orc. They sound like humanoid, sort of some of the regular species that you'd find in your travels. They're not like horrible oozes laughing at terrible jokes or anything like that.
So Griff will knock loudly on the door.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you knock on the door, and then you hear the room go silent. And you hear one man say, Jim, go open the door, see who's there. And the door swings open towards them. And you look in at what looks like about 19 men who see you. And what's your initial thing here, Martin?
So Griff goes, all right, I'm here to see... I can never get these names right. Either somebody called Romag or... And he's going to deliberately mess up this... Hirsch. Romag or Hirsch, he says.
Yeah, and they sort of laugh. They say it's actually, what is his name? Is it Hirsch?
Harch.
Harch, yeah.
Hearts.
You said the wrong name. It just replaced the real name out of my head for a second there. Harch, yeah. You see one of the guys at the end of the table who's got a big mug in front of him. He looks like he's probably one of like the leaders here. He's got a big long sword just on his back. He's got some nice chainmail on him. He says, "Oh, you're looking for Remek and Harch, huh? You just want to go north there, buddy. Just go to the temple. You should be able to find some people there to talk to. Who are you? I haven't seen you around here before."
Me? Well, I heard there was some bounty out on some people when you were looking for some sort of help to clear out a pest.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't hear about any pest clearance, but we're always looking for new members, trying to get,
Right.
some nice good fighters here. What about you? You know how to fight there? You're looking a little on the scrawny side there, bub.
Oh no, we're what we make up for in what we lack in size, we make up for in speed.
Yeah, if you give them sort of give some chuckles, some of them raise their glasses a little bit, and like, yeah, if you just keep on heading north there, you'll find them, and they'll
Right.
tell you what you need to do.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Much
make
obliged.
sure you get Harch's name right, because
Oh right.
he's big on not being disrespected.
So it's Harch, not Hirsch.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I owe you one. If we get a job, I'll get you a beer.
Yeah, and they go back. They close the door, and you hear them going back to chatting and talking. And while you were talking to them, you could see in that room. I can actually we'll just move you into that
Yeah.
room, just so you can see it. It looks like a lot of beds. Looks like there's tables, there's food, and there's just a lot of guys there. And yeah, no, it's your well met folk guy is very fun. I do like the
Yeah.
like using it once in a while. To like not actively hostile people. But yeah,
Yeah. 19 of them would have been a bit of a struggle, I suspect. But
yeah. And you have much less of a team than you did last time you had a clown
Yeah.
car of guards that you that you dealt with.
So we will continue heading up the corridor.
Okay. Mm.
Oh, good.
So yeah, you keep moving up, and you have that to your left, you have a hallway that leads down to the torture room, and then you also have north that you can keep going.
So Griff is going to sneak north.
Okay, yep. Give me a sneak check. Are you moving with your group, or are you going alone? Are you leaving them behind a bit? Like, are you?
Griff, just a little bit. So Griff is a sneaky kind of guy, and he just wants to see what's going on before just sort of turning the corner, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a 14 with his +4 cloak.
Yep. Nice, good one. Yep. So you keep moving up, and you can see to your right there is a hallway.
Yep.
You can move your guy over to the right a little bit if you want.
Okay, yep. Let me do that. Ooh.
So with this hallway, I'll read out a little thing for you. This is all lit up. This corridor is sheathed in polished brown marble veined with black. Inlaid in the floor are triangular pieces of polished yellow marble, forming a definite path leading around the corner to the north. The brown of the marble shades towards beige as it proceeds northwards, but deepens to a dark chocolate hue southward. Large bronze cressets are staggered at 10 feet intervals, or 10-foot intervals rather, on either side of the hall. Someone or something obviously keeps them fueled and burning brightly. So obviously this is a much different and nicer part of the dungeon than from where you've been so far. Okay, what do you want to do?
I think we're going to go on the we're employees front. So Griff's going to just nip back, get everybody, and then kind of enter here.
Okay.
And I don't know. I guess we're going to move south. We're going to see if we can. Oh, where were we told to go?
He just said northwards. And like even if you head south a little bit, this is still somewhat north of where you were. But there's still places to go north if you want to.
Well, we'll go up there.
Okay. Yeah, you see those arrows on the map there. If you move up a little bit, you'll see the orange rebel arrows just a little bit.
We'll probably nip off to the side here. Griff's kind of
Sounds good.
looking for a way out if we need one.
Yeah, and so to the left you see a door, and to the right in this hallway you see steps.
And do they go up or down?
I believe leads down.
Down. Okay. Interesting. So Griff will listen at the door.
Okay. Do. Okay. Yeah, give me a listen check.
Cool. Notice. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, notice. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for listen. I can't find it.
Yeah. Giving it a spot hidden roll, Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you hear some. I would say you hear some like padded footsteps, like not heavy clanking of boots or anything. There is definitely somebody in this room, but it doesn't sound like a bunch of people or anything like that. But there's definitely at least some movement or something going on in here.
Griff will do his normal door knocking thing here.
Yeah. You do. So you knock. And you hear what sounds like growling coming from inside the door. And you hear nothing for a little bit. What do you want to do, Martin?
We'll just pop the door open.
Okay. So you pop the door open, and 3 bugbears jump out at you. So
okay.
we're gonna go into initiative here, as you just hear like "Rah!" and they have big morning stars in their hands.
Oh, sod it. Oh no, I should have added a +2 to that.
Yeah,
That's 3.
so that's 4.
Yep.
4 versus 3, you
+1.
win.
Cool.
What do you want to do here? Yeah, so there's 3 of them. It seems like they were all 3 of them poised at the door, waiting for you to open it up or whatever's gonna happen next. And they have big morning stars in their hands. What do you want to do?
Griff was thinking he could talk to them, but there's only 3 of them. Let's finish them off.
Sounds good.
So being as quiet as possible, because he doesn't want to attract too much attention, he's going to, just hit one of them with an axe, because a bow seems a bit silly.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, no.
Okay. So you do 1 point of shock damage on one of them. I'm actually, these guys have quite a bit of health, so I'm going to actually write theirs down. Let's see here. Ooh. So I'm gonna say this in this way. Of the 3 of them, they all look like they're different sizes. One's really big, one's sort of medium sized, and one's a bit scrawnier. Which one are you going for first with that attack?
Go for the scrawny one.
Go for the scrawny one? All right. So Bari fires off his crossbow over your shoulder. And Bari, where are you? There you go. So Bari's gonna fire off his crossbow. He's gonna fire it off at the scrawny one that you just hit. Nice. Good hit from him, and he's gonna do 7 damage. So as you sort of beat him back, he then takes a big bolt to the chest, and that really fucking hurt. And Elmo's going to join in with you and Bari and fire off his bow at the scrawny one.
Nice.
And that is not going to finish him off, unfortunately, but it is going to hurt him quite a bit. And then Alan is going to come in. He's going to sort of shove you to the side, and with his longsword, just stab forward with it, trying to just end this scrawny creature. And that is going to be enough to kill it. Alan gets him right in the belly and then kicks him back, and sort of shoves his way into the room, trying to sort of get between you and these bugbears. And they just go like, "Rah! If we kill them, Romag he'll give us gold and booze. Kill them to the death." And they swing at you with their morning stars. So they are going to, I'm going to say they're going to go for Alan, just because he's sort of swung there in front of you, trying to make sure that they wouldn't hit you. And they just sort of bounce off of his armor. And it's back to you, Martin. What do you want to do, man?
Griff's going to say, "Well, you got to hit us first. You can just surrender and not die, or you can end up fertilizing the grass." You had to think about that one.
I don't know what fertilizer is, but I'm gonna kill you.
You're going to find out. Cool. Right. So Griff is going to, with his complete lack of axe expertise, he's going to try again. Practice makes perfect, right?
Hey, good hit. Absolutely. Nice.
Cool.
All right. So is this for the bigger one or the second biggest one?
This is for the one that didn't know what fertilizer meant.
Okay, that was the bigger guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it would be.
All right. Alan sort of tries to push his way in a bit with you to give you more room. And tries and gets himself into the room, and he's going to attack with his longsword at the one you hit. He's going to miss on that, but he does have. Do you want him to turn that into a hit?
10 damage, I think we'll go for that. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So he's going to use his veteran's luck to turn that into a hit and get a big cleave in this guy and slash right through his chest. And then Elmo's going to join in with you and join your side and then attack with his war axe. And I'm fairly sure that's going to kill this guy. Yep. And yeah, he immediately just splits the skull of the one that just got hit already. So that's 2 down now. And then Bar is going to fire off his crossbow at the other one.
Nice.
Oh my god, another big hit from Bari with another 9 damage. Fucking
all of the shit rolls from the last 13 sessions.
I know, and it's against these guys too. Yeah. Holy shit. All right. So he is very hurt from that crossbow bolt. And the creature just screams out and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you all!" And he goes.
Griff just chuckles.
Yeah. And he goes directly for. I'm gonna say he's gonna go for Elmo, who did the big attack. And that's not gonna hit. I'm gonna say like between you, Alan, and Elmo, you guys all sort of just like basically bounce the attack off and away from Elmo. And then it's back to you guys.
So Griff is gonna swing his axe again. Don't know if that hits.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and then you cleave your axe right into him, and you keep hitting him with your axe right into his chest, and he just starts gargling and spitting up blood, and then finally dying on the ground. As you finally take your axe out, and all 3 are dead. However, they were pretty loud.
Quick, get him in the room.
Yeah, you want to get in the room?
Yeah. We're gonna drag him in the room.
You hear you guys go into the room, close the door, and you hear heavy footsteps followed by what sounds like probably lighter footsteps as well. And you hear some people saying, "Did you guys hear that? What was that? It sounded like screaming." And you hear the sounds of metal boots coming up from the south. And you hear some guards being like, "What's going on up here? I heard yelling." And you hear some back and forth being like, "I don't know. Did you guys see anything?" And one of the guys says, "Some new recruits came by just a little while ago. Did you guys talk to them?" And they're like, "We haven't seen any new recruits at all." And they say, like, "All right, let's split up. Let's see. Let's look for whatever's going on around here." What do you want to do, Martin?
Griff is going to have a quick look around the room to see if there's anything that we can kind of push up against the door. Or maybe some cloaks or I don't know, something. He's looking for a bit of inspiration in the room. So, yeah, we don't really want 19 plus maybe some more people, really.
Nice, 9. So, you look around for stuff, and you there's a few things in here. There's let's see. you see that there looks to be like some tables, some like a barrel, a dresser. But when you move the barrel, you notice that it looks like there is a false door in
Ah,
the on the west wall. It
yep.
looks like it leads to a passage out of this room.
If we can really quickly, Griff just wants to have a very quick look in the barrel and the dresser, but not too much of a look,
I'll say
really.
this, Martin. You have an idea that if you stop and wait to look around here, there's a good chance someone's gonna come checking the store.
Yeah,
They sound
stuff
like
it.
they're
Yep.
just like outside the door, pretty much. So I mean, you can search if you want, but there's
We'll,
a bit of a luck
yeah,
check that's gonna happen here to see if.
yeah. No, we'll in which case we'll just quietly go through the door and shut it behind and hope that nobody else notices that it's there.
Okay, yep. So you go through, and you it leads you down into what looks like a small hallway, and you close the door behind you. And
Mm-hmm.
as you close the secret stone door, you hear the wooden door of the room with the bugbears open up, and you hear some guys yell, "Hey, there's they killed the guards in here," and some more footsteps. You hear them running around. That way, just as you close the stone door. Okay, in this area, this looks like you're in what looks like a hallway with some cells. There's a cell directly in front of you. So that
Okay.
one has. Let's see here. This passage shows disuse. It is dusty, dirty, and filled with cobwebs. However, someone wearing boots has made use of the place with fair frequency, as shown by occasional tracks. 3 iron doors line the west wall, each with great hinges set to bear the weight of such portals. Each also has a small iron hatch. An old gray blanket hangs on the east wall. I think that's the right one. Yeah. So you're if you want to just move around in here, actually, I'll just move
Hmm.
you around just a little bit so you can see
Yeah.
yourself. Um, I think there might have been a mistake on. There's supposed to be right here. There's supposed to be
Okay.
another door
Another
there.
door.
I think the guy
Yeah.
who made this map forgot to put that there, which I don't blame him because there's 10 billion rooms. But this looks like a bit of a secret passage.
Cool.
And it looks like I said, there's 3 doors on the west wall going down. And I'm just gonna say, as you go down to the bottom, you can see that there also is a secret passage identical
Okay.
to the one you went in. So
Perfect.
this is kind of just like an L-shaped kind of hallway that looks like it's only been used by somebody here, but not that
So
frequently.
what's here? This bit here. There's a little sort of alcove.
So that little alcove there, um, there's a big blanket that you pull down or pull to the side
Yeah.
there, um, and you see what looks like an alcove with a cot, a small table, chair, lantern, 12 flasks of oil. It looks like a barrel filled with about a quarter way with wine. Looks like a few rations for a few days. Some old clothing on the wall, an iron chest, and a heap
Ooh,
of glittering equipment.
glittering equipment. Okay. Um, Griff will carefully open the chest. What's this doing here? This doesn't make any sense.
Hmm.
What is this?
Yeah, one quick second here, Martin, because this is actually a very interesting place you just found yourself in.
Oh, interesting.
um. Let's see here. Interesting. Okay. Yep. So yeah. So you see that stuff there. And what do you want to do?
So, does the glittering equipment look like it might be special? Is it just nice or
So it looks like this probably belongs to some sort of adventurer. They
okay?
look like they're probably a halfling or a child.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And so what you find, it looks like it's what probably looks like it's glittering the most. Interesting. Is this nice dagger, in a glittering scabbard. When I say glittering, it's not like with like crazy colors or anything like that.
Yeah,
But it just looks like it's very like a very nice dagger.
nice. Okay. Um, and we've got a barrel of wine.
Yep.
some rations.
There's an iron
So Griff,
chest.
yeah, Griff will have a look in the chest. But he's
Yeah.
going to do is open it sort of with the lid of the chest facing away from him, just in case. There's something funny going on here, and he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, why the hell should this be behind a blanket in an alcove in a secret passage? Yeah, doesn't make sense.
Oh. Actually, okay, you know what? Give me a no roll.
Uh-oh. This is not
The way this was written was very confusing, but I just realized what this is. Nice. 9. So, what you can guess, because I mistook it, this isn't just halfling stuff. You're noticing also like leather armor that belongs to a human. You're noticing probably like women's clothing. From where you can guess, because we've just sort of been saying that you've been kind of either mentally or physically sort of mapping out the dungeon as you've been going along pretty quickly, like in real time, or as much as you can.
Yeah.
You're pretty close to where the torturer was. You can probably guess that this seems like it might be his little, maybe a little hidey hole for a bunch of stuff that he takes off the victims that are brought to him.
Yep.
And that's where you find much different stuff. And then, yeah, so the chest is secured by a large padlock. So if you want to give me a sneak check, you can try and unlock it. The lock looks decent. Okay, no, you're good. Roll a 12. Like without even much of a try, you just go like, and it flicks open.
Griff used to do this after all. This was his trade.
Yeah. And you open it, and inside, you find a crap load of coins. So because we're all sort of melting it down to silver pieces, do you want to just write your notes, just like bunch of coins? I'll do all the math later for you.
Cool.
And a small wooden box.
A box in a chest. It's just too tempting, so Griff is gonna pop it open.
Yeah, you pop it open, and it looks like there's 2 potions of healing inside.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah.
So Griff's not been too clever with these. He's got like loads of these fucking things on him, so he's actually gonna say, oh, you know what? I think it's about time I go some of you guys some of these things, because no good me grabbing onto it all. If you get it, just take one if you feel you need it. And he's going to give a potion of healing to, well, one each. I know there's 2 in the box, but he's got a couple of extra. So yeah.
Yeah. So each of them put them like in their belts or like their coats.
Yeah.
Just easy wherever is easy access for them.
Yeah. So that's 1 Alan, 1 Elmo, 1 Barry.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he's going to. I suppose we better check these tells out then. Hopefully, there's nobody in them.
Yeah.
And he's going to slide back the little thing in the door.
Okay. Yeah. So it looks like in these, which ones are you checking? You got A, B, and C. Which one are you going for first?
Let's go with A just to be
okay.
Nice and ordered.
So you open up, you open up like sort of like the keyhole that you notice on these ones. You can look through a little pinhole, and you can see it looks like there's like 3 hunched over, like look like ragged humans, in here.
Okay, and in B.
And in B and C, I'll just say both for you. It looks similar. It looks like 3 more in each of these. Looks like there's more like 3 humans in cells each. And I would also say probably maybe from B would be the easiest one. You can see on the other side of the cell that looks more like a classic jail cell kind of thing. And it looks like there's more cells on like the other side of the hall, if that makes sense. Like you look through the pinhole, you see the cell that you're looking directly into, and across the hallway it looks like there's more cells.
And can we get through these doors if we wanted to?
I believe yeah, I think so. They're all doors with a small iron hatch. One thing I'll say, as you're looking through C, you see a bunch of you don't see a bunch of footsteps. You hear a bunch of footsteps, and then you see both guards and what look like acolytes in brown clothes walking down the hall. You see one more of those big rock creatures with runes covered just one of them with this group going down. And you hear down at like the south part more of them walking around. This has been honestly an extremely lucky thing you find yourself into. This is just so everybody knows, this is not planned at all. This is completely, you got so lucky with this. But yeah, you hear them. They seem to be just all over the place, looking around, searching to see what's happened. But yeah.
Yeah. Griff just whispers to the other, God, it seems busy down here. Oh, I think we should lie low for a while. We got a bit of wine, some rations. Nobody knows we're
Barry
here.
says, "I'm fine with that, boss." And he pops open the keg of wine.
Not too much.
yeah. He you see him like as he pours it up like a big mug from like one of the ones that's like in the room. He then pours a little bit of it into another cup and hands that to Alan. He's like, yeah, not too much there, Alan. And you guys just sort of sit around for a little bit, and Elmo asks, "So what do you want to do, boss? Do you think we'll just wait for things to die down a little bit, or should we help these people out? Because it seems like, well, I mean, we knew what that torture was doing to some other people, so it feels like we should. But at the same time, well, and Alan sort of kicks in. He's like, yeah, I mean, do you think we can actually get them out of here though, if we even are able to rescue them? There's a load of guards out there. We saw a bunch."
Yeah, I think the problem right now, I'm not massively confident about taking on 19 of these things, these people, these guards. I mean, and it looks like there's more now. There's people in robes and that
Yeah.
bloody Great Earth thing. I mean, I know it sounds a bit ruthless, but I think the way we got to look at this is we're not going to help anybody if we're dead. So,
Yeah, Barry holds up his cup. He's like, here. I agree with the boss.
cheers.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, cheers.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, boss, I think you're right. I don't think our ruse is gonna hold up about,
No.
I think they're gonna be questioning us a little bit more if they find us again.
So I think what we need to do is wait a little while, wait for things to calm down, wait for these guards to go back to wherever they came from. They'll assume that we've fled, and then maybe we can let whoever's left in here out.
Yeah. Good idea, boss.
But right now, I think we keep quiet, we keep watch, and we can even take a little rest between us. And, it's probably getting on a bit, can't tell down here, but yeah.
Yeah, no, this sounds good to them. And Barge goes over to like close the blanket again, so you guys are serving this alcove hidden behind the blanket. Yeah. It's weirdly cozy in here. It's just like you just got a bunch of like clothes and stuff. It's just, and you guys are just hanging out, having some drinks. There's a little bit of food here. It looks like a bunch of different rations, some like dried meat and nuts and some bread. Nothing fancy, but overall, it seems like a nice little bit. And you guys are sort of chatting for a little while. It seems to die down eventually. It takes maybe about an hour or two. And from what you know with traveling, it looks like this is probably eaten into quite a bit of the adventuring day, unfortunately. But
yeah,
this has been an interesting little excursion.
Yeah. So I think we should probably let these guys out, and we're going to hide in our little cellar in the thing north of the temple again, if we can.
The little hidey hole.
Yeah, little hidey hole.
All right, sounds good. So which one are you opening up first?
We'll open up A.
Okay, sounds good. Yep. So you latch it, you unhook the latch. It looks like the guys are still there. And then you open up the iron door. And as you open it, the torchlight from like your hand or one of your companion's hands sort of lights up the room, and the three creatures go, and it's three zombies as they lurch towards you guys. And one barrels through right into you, and the other two are right behind them. So we'll go into initiative here.
You should have paid more attention. Rescuing the undead.
But we don't need to roll for initiative actually, because you guys just go first because they're very slow.
Cool. Okay.
So you guys are just gonna go. What do you want to do, Martin?
Griff is, well, all he can do is axe them, really. Oh, what a shame. Ooh.
Not gonna lie, I was very excited once you and over you do have holy water if you end up wanting to try and do this faster.
Yes.
Just wanting to, I mean, you guys probably handle 3 zombies, but just in case you want to be faster. Let's see here.
We will, yes.
Okay, so okay. So that's 3 of them. And you got a pretty good hit on one of them, I believe. Was that how much damage you do? 5. Nice.
5.
Good hit. Yeah, you started axing into this one guy. Pretty good. And then it's pretty close quarters. So Alan and Elmo also just help hacking into this one that just jumped you.
Come on. Oh yes.
Ooh, good hit. Good hit. Oh yeah, and they both immediately cleave into that one. You get you and that, I imagine like just in one big swoop together as a group. You guys just immediately cut this one down, cut off a bunch of his limbs and his head, and just destroy the brain. And then Bari fires off a bolt at one of the ones right behind him.
Come on, you can do it. No, you can't.
Oh, Bari, Bari. And these guys actually wait a minute.
They cannot have an armor class of 8. No.
Actually, nah. No, they have an 11 AC though, so it's not very high. At least you guys should have a good chance. If Bari could fucking roll well for once in his goddamn life.
Ever.
Okay. And now it's their turn. Those two are gonna go. And I'm gonna say you're the one open the door, so they're both going for you. One's gonna go for you there. Oh my god. Okay, so I mean you're only gonna take 2 damage. You're okay. And the other one's going to miss.
Cool.
But both of them are latched onto you. One just like slashed across you, and has latched onto one arm, and the other one has grabbed like onto your thigh as he's sort of fallen down.
Just a quick thing here. The character sheet has reset itself to previous level Griff.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
On mine, you're still 18 AC, 25 hit points.
Okay, let me close this one and I'll reopen it again.
Yeah, you might just need to reset your foundry.
That's fine. I think. Well, yeah. So I just need to take 3 hit points off.
2 hit points.
2 hit points, right? That's cool.
So you're down to 22 out of 28.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 23 out of 28.
Yeah, that's cool. I double clicked him from the icon, and I suspect that might have been.
Oh yeah. I probably just messed up. It's all good.
That's what.
And also, Foundry just gets weird sometimes. You have to just refresh it.
Yeah.
Okay. So they missed. It's now back to you guys.
Excellent. So Griff, with his trusty axe, he sort of takes another look at this. He's doing all right with it now. He's more of a bowman, but it's growing on him.
Hey, it really is. Nice. That one's dead, but that one is at okay. Nice. So you axe that guy, does some damage. Bari's gonna fire off his crossbow, the one you just hit. Jesus Christ, Bari. Bari misses. Alan goes in for a swing on the one that you hit. Alan is gonna hit, and he's gonna kill that one.
Cool.
As he cuts it down, and then Elmo's gonna try and go for the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Or there you go, Elmo. Well, 4 damage. Actually, no, 5 because you can't do less than that. So good, still a good hit. So there's one left, and that one is gonna keep trying to bite at you, Griff.
Like a bad 80s horror movie.
But he misses and can't connect.
Cool.
So now it's back to you guys, and Bar's gonna try and fire again, while you, I assume, hit with your.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Nice.
Toast.
There you go. So that guy is dead. With you, Barry fires off a crossbow bolt, and then with your axe, you just put it straight into his head, splitting it open, and it falls down dead. You do hear what sounds like some footsteps coming up. What do you want to do? It sounds like it's coming from the south. It sounds like maybe like 2 footsteps. They're not moving very fast, but they almost, you see like some torchlight accompanying the footsteps.
I think we'll just go out and shut the door.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, you sort of just close the door. Are you shoving the bodies back into the cell so it looks like they're still there, and just on the ground? Because it is very dark. It's not easy to see.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
you and the boys just kick them back in and then close the door and latch it. And if you check the other two cells, you see like what looks like two guards sort of walking by. And
Yeah.
it looks like these other two cells are filled with very similar creatures.
Okay.
Um, and
So,
Alan says, "Well, I mean, at least we don't have to have that in our conscience, right?"
oh, indeed, yeah. They can rot there. Why the hell are they keeping zombies in there for? Oh,
I mean, maybe for situations like this.
well, maybe. Bit odd, but there we go. I'll tell you what, though. I don't think zombies are particularly loyal creatures, do you? I think
No,
they just kind of moan and reach and try and bite stuff. So,
I mean, unless they're being controlled by somebody. I mean, there's some pretty powerful
yeah,
casters down here. They could be maybe.
true. That's very true. Um,
Yeah. Do you want to
hmm.
give me a nose check if you're looking at the zombies again?
Yeah,
This will be pretty hard because of how dark it is, but now that you can actually sort of see,
I
do you want to
I
do a
might
reroll on
choose
that?
a yeah. The old expert reroll. Oh
Oof.
dear.
Yeah, never mind. No, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary with these guys.
Um, so if the guards have gone, we'll have a quick look round cell A.
Yep. Oh, so if you the guards like look in for a bit, and then they walk
Yeah.
off again. Um, I won't make you roll now if you're actually looking at them if you're inside. Do you want to give me a sneak check though, just to be
Yep.
stealthy while you're doing all this stuff?
That sounds good. Come on, come on, come on.
Okay,
10.
nice, good, very good stealth check. One thing I'll say you notice on these zombies, and that you also noticed on the bugbears.
Mm-hmm.
On the bugbears, it was on their armor. On these zombies, on their forehead is this sort of like beige, orangish kind of triangle. Just looks like it's stamped on their forehead. If you
Yep.
like peel away at it, it looks like it is like almost like tattooed on, like it's part of their skin. It doesn't look like it's like it doesn't look like it was just like ink put on, like
Yep.
just stamped.
So they probably are under some sort of control. That's not good. So I think what we're going to do is uh, just take a very sneaky look out of door number A. Door number A? What's
Door
all
number
letter A?
A.
Door
What's
number A.
behind? um, um, okay. So, it looks like, from what you can tell, you can see cells. I'm just gonna move you out just a little bit so you can see a little bit. You can
Yeah.
see cells D and E from here. Um,
Okay.
so in D, um, do. Trying to find. Um. Okay. It looks like cell D is empty. The one that which is the northernmost one. In cell E, you can see what looks like a small gnome. He looks like he's
Ah.
bound and gagged. And he notices you. Just like he's on the ground. He's like hogtied basically. And he notices you over in cell A, and he just goes like, mm, mm.
Griff puts his finger to his lips, and he also holds up the iron gnome ring that he got from the moat house to
Yeah,
indicate
and
that he's a gnome friend.
his eyes sort of brighten seeing that, and he goes,
He just kind of gestures to wait. It's
yep.
fine. Shut up. Yep. So Griff is going to take a look north and south on the key. He's very nervous about where these guards might be. So this is really his main
Yep.
point of poking his head out. Yeah.
Yeah, give me a nose check. And also it looks like the cell to this door is unlocked. It doesn't look like it's locked. Oh my god,
I think
double
we might
ones.
be re-rolling that. Can we re-roll that one? Or is it the same?
I'll say this is the next scene, which also means that basically another 15 minutes have passed. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is getting later here as well, as you would know. But yeah, so give me another a reroll for that. Jesus. I mean, I'll say this: you don't see any guards coming nearby or anything like that.
Yeah.
From what you can tell, it seems like it's clear. The torchlight and footsteps have left, but you don't necessarily know how long their cycle is or if how many guards are around. But it seems clear for now.
So Griff is just going to basically ask Elmo, Alan, and Bari to go and get anything that didn't look particularly valuable from behind the blanket and just put it in the corridor outside cell number D. Oh God, here we go. It's been a long week. Cell letter D.
So
Uh,
letter D. I
cell
understand why
number
your
D.
brain's doing that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I was doing when I was doing one of the reviews this week. I kept saying funnel instead of scenario when it was a
Oh.
leveled adventure, and I was like, why do I keep saying funnel?
Mm,
But yeah. So you over in the north there.
yeah, yeah. And we're just going to sort of pile the gear just outside the cell door and then just crack it open.
Is that outside the cell door with the gnome? Because the gnome is an E. Just so
No,
you
no,
know.
no, D.
D. Okay. I
D.
just want to make sure I know
Yeah.
what you're doing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they grab they just grab like a bunch of like clothes and a few other things.
Yeah.
And they go over to D. And they just leave there. D is empty, by the way.
That's perfect.
Yep.
And we're just going to crack the door open. Obviously, nothing will come out because there's nothing in there. That's the idea.
D is
No.
locked, by the way. It looks like D,
Okay.
E, and F are locked. That's the only thing. A, B, and C from your guest looks like they're unlocked. But
Yep.
D, E, and F are locked.
Okay. So we'll just leave it outside the cell door then. In that case, we don't want to be fiddling around with locks. That'll take too long.
Okay.
And we'll just go back into A. Close the door.
Okay.
And Griff is going to make sure he can see outside, and he's going to cock an arrow in his bow, and he's going to point it at the pile of crap on the floor, because if I was a guard and I saw a pile of crap on a floor that wasn't there outside of a cell door, I'd probably bend down and take a look.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So you're just gonna wait for the guards to come by again?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So you hear once again, you probably wait another 15 minutes or so. And then you see some torchlight start bouncing off like the wet cobblestones on the ground, or like cobblestones, just the regular stones. And then you hear footsteps, and it looks like the two guards are coming up again. And you see one of them go like, "Huh, what's that?" And they both walk over. One looks over at E to see that the gnome is still there. The gnome is now looking down at the ground. He looks like he's just trying to be completely like inconspicuous. And the other one walks over and starts poking the clothes with his spear. What do you want to do, Martin? There's one guard in front of E and there's one guard over at D. Both of them have their backs turned to you.
So Griff is going to try and execute D if he's got enough time.
I'm gonna say a minute is too long for this, but you can
Okay.
get a stealth shot off on him.
Yeah, he'll do that.
And I'll say
do that.
you have enough time to at least get like a good shot. So I'll give you like an extra +1 on the hit.
Okay, cool.
Where you're able to, he sort of looks down, he's just sort of poking it, not really moving. He's not too far
Yeah.
away, but yeah. But you don't have enough time to do an execution attack, unfortunately.
Oh, terrible roll.
No, 15.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, that hits. You get an arrow and you hit him right in the chest. He just goes like, ah! He still looks like he's alive, but he stumbles against the wall a bit. Where are your companions? Where'd you tell your hirelings to go?
So they'll be behind me.
Okay. Did you want them to in this thing? Did you want Barry to fire off his crossbow or anything like that? Or were you doing this
yeah, I
alone?
mean, absolutely. Yeah, no, if we can do this,
I'll say Barry can. I'll say just because
Yeah.
of Barry's expertise in terms of like what he's good at, he can. I'm gonna say Elmo and Alan obviously can't. So Barry will fire off a crossbow as well at that guy.
Oh, for once he hits.
Finally,
Hopefully.
Barry hits. Barry, you hit this guy in the chest, and Barry hits him in the back of the head, and he goes down dead. And the guy who's looking at the gnome goes like, "Huh? What the hell?" And you see him. He goes like, "Guards! Guards!" What do you want to do here?
Panic. No. That's what I want to do.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah, we'll just go into initiative here. Because he just now notices like from the arrows, and he starts running north. So we'll see if you guys if you want to attack him before he gets away. And he will. Okay, you guys go first. Yeah, for everybody watching or listening, they both rolled a 5, so you guys go first. What do you want to do, Martin?
I'm very concerned about what that other dice was about, but anyway, we'll don't worry about that too much. I think it's going to be all bows blazing at this guard. We need to stop him before we can alert anybody else. So.
Sounds good. So Elmo and Barry will fire off their bows. Of course, Bari can't hit. Elmo can.
That was me as well, I think. I don't know
Yes.
who.
Okay,
There we
you
go.
guys
Cool.
you guys both kill him. You and Elmo fire off 2 arrows, and you just go. It goes right through his chest, both of them, and he hits the ground, dead. And the gnome goes.
I don't know what that means.
He looks like
So
he's sort of tensing up, and he's just like he's basically just like look. His eyes are darting towards the lock on his cell and back to you.
Griff's just gonna wait, sort of thing, and we're just gonna grab both of the guards. We're gonna very quickly drag them into cell A, close the door, drag them out the back, and close the door if we can,
Yep.
and then just wait for a bit.
Yeah. So while you do that, you hear what sounds like more footsteps coming from the north. One of them sounds particularly heavy.
Okay.
And you see what looks like 2 men in brown cloaks, and a big sort of rock creature with all the runes across it.
Yep.
And you hear one of them say, "Did you hear something? What's going on? There's something strange in this corridor. Look around. Check the prisoners." And the 2 of them and the rock creature sort of walk down. They check the different cells, and they basically check each one. It seems like the zombies who are on the ground dead look haggard enough that they don't seem to really prick up any kind of that's what I'm looking for. Any alarms.
Yep.
I will say this just for you, just in terms of Griffin would know this. This is the choice you can make. It seems like you might have enough time here if you and the group wants to leave through the south secret exit, that they're checking the cells pretty thoroughly. So it's taking them some time. But yeah, it's up to you if you want to leave the gnome or not. But they're just sort of going through. It looks like they're pretty much on high alert. One of them says to theirs, "We should get some more guards over here. Where are those 2 that were supposed to be here?"
So Griff reminds himself of his earlier comment to the group, in as much as there's no real point in trying to help if you're dead. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to lead you either way. I'm just letting you know like what Griff would be aware of in the world right now.
Griff wants to rescue this gnome quite badly because he's sort of kind of promised to do that already. But he doesn't want to run away. but yeah. What we need is a distraction.
Well, at least the one thing you know is that if they haven't replaced him already, the torturer is dead.
Yes.
So who knows how long until this guy's gonna be tortured for any information, or what's gonna happen next, or is gonna be off and taken to be sacrificed. So you might have some time, but you might also, if you leave and come back, he might not be here anymore. So those are the things, obviously, that Griff would realize.
So you said that we don't think the cell doors to B and C are unlocked.
No, B and C are unlocked.
Yeah, unlocked. Yeah,
yeah.
That's
I'll just say from what you're able to see real quick, like A, B, and C, all unlocked, all filled with zombies.
So Griff is going to reach down to his belt and scratch his ass. No, he's going to take a potion of undead control out, look at it and go, I don't really know how this works, and then he's going to rip the cork out of the vial with his tooth and spit it on the floor and glug this potion of undead control.
Okay. And I believe normally 3d6, I believe.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, is it just 3d6 hit dice?
I didn't know how to read that, whether it was 3d6.
Whether you roll and see how many you get, yeah.
Hit dice was, I wasn't sure which one, but...
Here, where was it? I'm gonna... Alright. So, with undead, affects up to 3d6 hit dice of undead. So I think I'll just look at the hit dice for the zombies in OSE, except that's an OSE one. Zombies. So I believe each zombie might be 2 hit dice.
Okay.
Let's see here. Hit dice 2, yeah. So you could probably control up to 3d6 hit dice. Actually, no, just roll a 3d6, Martin.
Yeah.
So I think it would say 3. I think it would say 3 hit dice otherwise.
Hit dice, yeah, I think so as well. It'll be pretty pointless otherwise. But,
yeah, I was just thinking that doesn't sound right. Okay, 15.
Ooh. It's a good roll.
It is a good roll. Um, it comes out to basically the same thing though. It looks like you can control one of the zombies.
Blimey, okay. So, Griff is going to control one of them, and he's going to get it to open the door.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So one is this which room is this one in?
Let's go for room B.
Room B. Yeah. So in B,
Room B.
you are looking through the pinhole. You can't be seen through this latch at all. And you see one of the zombies just gets up that you controlled, and then starts walking towards the what's it called, the door. What do you want him to do?
So he wants. So the plan is open the door and then walk north.
Yep.
And how far around this corridor has Griff seen? I mean, they've piled all the stuff outside of D.
So you're looking through B, so you can actually control the zombies, so you can see him, right? So you're looking through B.
Yeah. I mean, previously when we piled the armor outside of cell door D, I'm just wondering how much of the map.
You can see just like around like the corner there, but that's about it.
That's good news. So there's a corner there, which is what we were after. So Griff's there at the minute. So what he's going to do is get the zombie outside of B, get it literally to walk north to the end of the corridor, and then turn right, and then just start wailing.
Okay, so that sounds good. Yeah. So so you're gonna have him walk by the people.
Yep. That's it. Hopefully they disappear off around the corner. That's the idea. They might not, but
because I'm just just imagine them seeing it. Yeah. So he just gets up and just swings the door open. And they're just kind of like, what the? And the zombie kind of just very slowly walks up the north corridor. They look over towards it, being like, what's going on with this zombie? Because they look over and the other two are still sitting there on the ground. And then this one goes up, and then it goes around the corner. And then you just want it to sort of start wailing. Do you want to start wailing like it's in combat, or like it's found meat? Like, what do you want it to sort of do exactly?
It just needs to go round the corner, just on a little bit, and just moan and wail and look like it probably needs some attention.
Sounds good. It's just this baby zombie.
Yeah.
So you send it around the corner, and they kind of like just kind of like, huh, that's weird as it goes off. They go back to like looking around, and then it starts wailing, and they're like, what the hell? And they turn, they go, what's going on? What is happening around here? And they storm off towards the north part. And they go around the corner. So you have a very small window here, Martin, before they're probably going to come back.
So this was always the plan. So we're gonna book it out of door A as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And Griff is going to attempt the speediest lockpick in the world on the gnome door.
Okay, give me that lockpick check.
Come on, you need to succeed this.
And Barry's right there next to you in case you need help. He actually I was gonna say, because he's also a lockpick guy, he can give you. I'll let him assist you and give you like I think a +1, since he's able to sort of point out what you need to be doing. And you can do a reroll on that.
Excellent.
You're gonna need to. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah. 12. There you go.
You sort of like mess it up, and he's like, no, that pin there, and then you finally unlock it. And the door opens up. And you just like grab the gnome and drag him like by the feet back to like the corner. Yeah. So you do that, and then you drag him all the way back through across the cell, up into A. He's still gagged and he goes like as you're just like his head's just like bouncing off the bricks. And then you close the door. And then you hear the acolytes and the creature come back down, and they're like, He was just here. What is going on? And they run down the side of the guards. We have a prisoner escaped. And you hear them go off as they look around, and the big creature keeps following them. And what do you want to do now, Barton?
I think we're going to wait here. Just get back to our little hidey hole, and we're going to untie the gnome and make it perfectly clear that he's not to shout out when we ungag him.
Yeah, you do that, and he was like, oh, thank you.
Quiet. There's a lot of action out there.
Thank you so much for freeing me. I really appreciate it. You guys got any water or anything?
Shit, no. We got some wine though. How about a bit of wine?
Oh, he even better. And he just starts chugging the wine, He's like, oh
Did he?
my
Did
god,
he?
and ooh, bread, and he just starts munching on some stale bread that's just on the top of the barrel. And he's like, do you guys have my clothes or anything? Do you guys find any of my armor or any of my stuff? My name's
Oh,
Wanalon. You might have heard of me, the famous gnome
um,
adventurer.
yeah, Wanalon. Yeah, I mean, you're the talk of the town back in Omelette. You are, I tell you. Yeah. Is it? And if you remember, I did say that we didn't want to take anything too interesting and dump it outside of D. So I'm assuming that was the nice armor.
Yeah, the nice thing really there was like the dagger and some of the armor, and he just
Okay.
grabs some stuff. Um,
Yeah.
he seems to just look, he's like, here it is, and he grabs what looks like I said, some armor that looks like it's more like child sized, or now you can tell gnome
Yeah.
sized, and puts it on. It's just like some of it's kind of just nice, like padded leather, with a little bit of, like rings in it and stuff. He grabs some boots and gloves that also belong to him. He's like, it feels good to be clothed again.
Yeah. You any good at fighting at all?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. If I can find my dagger somewhere, and he sort of looks around, he's like, well, I guess there's this hand axe here I can use.
Yeah. Um, Look, you're a fighter. I'm guessing you've got armor on, so you're not one of these. I know some of these gnomes can be quite clever with all these tricks and flashy lights,
Yeah,
and you're
I'm a
not one
great
of them,
fighter.
are you? Yeah. Good. Um, right. So what we need to do here is hold out for a bit, wait for all the activity to die down, because I think there's a whole ton of people looking for you. We seem to have found some sort of secret passage here, and when it's all died down, I don't quite know what we're going to do, but I think we'll be in a better place for having waited.
Yeah, sounds good. And you guys,
That's what we'll
he
do.
agrees, and he says, all right, well, I mean that works for me. I'm just he's sort of just rubbing his wrists and
Yeah.
like and his ankles, like where like the rope was really tied tight. He's like, I'm fine to just hang out for a little bit here. Um, oh man, I cannot wait to get out of here, though. I gotta tell you, I've been here for days, maybe weeks. It felt like
Yeah.
years.
I bet it did.
Starting to go a little
Uh,
crazy down here.
any useful information you can tell us? How many guards? How often they come? Or any of that kind of thing? Any
I mean,
names?
there's more activity going on here today than I've seen in a while. It's usually pretty quiet around this part. I think there's just that. I think that the
Right.
Earth Temple is just over to the northeast there.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and I've been going through here quite a bit. I'm really impressed you guys were able to make it down here. You must be formidable fighters.
Well, you have no idea. He sounds a bit menacing.
Yeah, he says, yeah. I mean, you gotta be careful though for that torture guy. He comes in and he really enjoys hurting people, and he's a big guy.
Yeah, about that. We well, he's not torturing anyone anymore.
Oh really? Did he
Yeah.
did did you kill him?
Oh, slightly.
Oh my god! Wow, he looks like genuinely impressed. He's like, God, no wonder I haven't seen him in about a day or two. He
Yeah.
loved tormenting me all the time.
Yeah.
All right,
Not
and
anymore.
sorry, go ahead, Martin.
He just says not anymore.
Yeah, yeah, and you guys just keep chatting for a little bit, and some time goes by. And I would say, Bari's the one who's been listening down south of the door, and he says, hey, boss, I
Yeah.
think I heard a lot of guards just go by. I think they're in that hallway, over in
Right.
150. You hear some voice come from that way, like he was just here, and I'm not sure what happens. Like, I think this might be our chance to get out of here. I think we can
Right.
slip by.
Okay. Yeah. You're probably right there. Um. So. There's no easy answer to this, is there? So we've potentially got three escape routes. We can either go north, back out through the room that led us to this secret passage, but we know that quite a lot of people have come from the north. I'm a little bit nervous about that. Or we could go south out of the secret door there, and then we've got a choice to go past the torturer's room, which is probably going to go a bit close to
Yeah,
that
that
corridor with
that
the guards
crosses
in it.
with that.
Yeah, but we could go up there, and then we could go down there and hopefully the barracks. We don't. I'm assuming it was a barracks if it's got 19 people
Yeah,
in
it's like
beds
a
and
little
stuff
guard
in it.
room there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, we'll do that. We'll
Yeah,
do
so you
that.
want to go south past the guard room, basically, through that secret
Yeah.
passage again, like the other one that's down south.
Yeah.
All right, want to give me a stealth check? This will just be the normal one without the elven stuff, because this is just sort of like
Yeah.
the group check.
Please be good.
Nice,
Yeah.
that is really good.
9.
9, that's quite good. Yeah, so you, Bari Barry just sort of brings you guys over. He's like, all right, 3, 2, 1. He opens the door and sort of just shuffles you guys out and then closes it behind you guys. And you guys start making your way south. You make it past the guard room. You guys hear voices and footsteps ahead of you north. Sorry, not ahead of you, behind you north, both near that marble hallway to the east and where you got the gnome out to the west. You head south and you go out into the secret passage again, down to this hallway. And you make your way down further south. And then when you open this door here, you see at the top of like where that guard room was, the door sort of swings open as you guys are going through, and two of them are like, hey, they're over here. Let's go, get them. And you see like 3 or 4 guards run down this hallway. And the gnome just says like, book it.
Yeah, and we do.
Yes, that's good. Do you want to give me an exert check, Martin?
Oh, I'm glad I leveled up and put some points in exert.
Nice, another 9. Holy crap! Yeah, you start running down. All of you guys are going like down the hallway. Barry says, "Hey, boss, do you have any more of that oil?"
We do, because we picked up a few flasks. I can't remember exactly where it was, but we picked up 5 flasks. So Griff's literally gonna just take a couple out and throw them behind
so that's
him.
good. Yeah, you just sort of toss them
break.
back, and they just get smashed on the ground. And you guys just make your way down, like to that junction, like where the ghouls and the prisoners were. You make your way down there, and you see like the guards finally come out of that door, and 4 or 5 of them are just running after you. You guys are outpacing them pretty good though at this point.
Cool.
And then do you want to give me another exert check as you keep running down the hallway? Just trying to like even break the distance even more. Holy crap, was that another an 8? Crap, nice. Okay, yeah. So you guys just keep up the pace. That plus them sort of sliding on the oil slick that you created makes them sort of lose you a bit as you sort of go down and then take a left and go up the stairs and out of the this lower temple area. And their footsteps, you hear them sort of recede in the distance as they don't seem to really be quite sure which way you went in the darkness. And everybody's just outside going, whew. Oh, that was close.
It got a bit busy, didn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
What the hell's happening? That was a lot of guards.
Yeah, well, 19 in that room, and well, I'm guessing they weren't the only ones. So I think we did all right there.
Yeah. And Elmo says, wait, shh. And you guys hear more and more footsteps running from down the stairs. Like, we gotta go. We no time to stop. And you guys just start getting out of the temple. You head back to your horses, and everybody's like, let's just get out of here. Let's get back to Hamlet.
I guess we stick the gnome on the back of Griff's horse.
Yeah. The gnome's all too happy just to get a ride out of here. He's just taking in deep breaths of the fresh air. No longer stuck in the stale dungeon as you guys just make your way south. Back to Hamlet, and out of the temple. And that's what we're going to call today, guys.
Oh. That was close.
Holy crap, Martin. That was some good rolls and some good thinking on your part, because I was like, oh my god, we're about to have a huge fight here.
Yeah.
I cannot stress how lucky that fucking secret passage was. I was not, when I said they all heard you and everything, I was not banking on you having a way out of that was going to be all that simple. I mean, not that it was easy, just that like that worked out really well. And it's good to know that that's there now, because it does not seem to be one that's much used by people in that area. So it could be a good little place to hide up if you need to.
I don't know. I think we might probably want to find another way around. The Earth Temple just seems a little bit scary now, to be honest. Everyone kind of knows who we are, and
there's a lot of people in that area. It's a lot of dudes. But that was so much fun. Thank you, Martin. I had a blast. Some really intense moments there. And I'm excited for next session.
We're gonna have to grill the gnome and see what he knows.
Oh yeah, completely.
Oh, he's got to be rich. He sounds rich.
He's got to know something at least, the very least.
Yeah, maybe he can tag along. Well, I don't think he will.
You never know. I mean, you guys did save his life, and you do seem pretty dependable, so he could be somebody who might be willing to help out. But awesome. Thank you so much, Bart. That was great. And thanks, everybody, for watching. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Cheers, guys.